all the women in her clan, not all the women of her tribe, not all the women of her racial background behave that way. Then, therefore, if it is not something general for all of the women in that clan and of that race, it tells us that her poor marital tendencies, which are affecting her marriage, are as a result of personal character traits, and cannot be attributed to every woman of that clan. It cannot be attributed to every woman of the tribe. It cannot be attributed to every woman of her race. So the issue becomes personal. It is her personal trait to be inconsiderate in her marital home, personal trait to be able to invite third party and hold to that steadfast in her marriage. It's a personal state of having bad behavior examples to her children. It is her personal state of heart to have that confusive attitude in her marriage, or to be bossy, or to be controlling. It is her personal state. And if that is so, then one thing goes. You treat her as an individual, and let that example not go as an example for all the women. The fact that Judas betrayed Jesus does not mean every man, every disciple, every apostle betrays Jesus. That is how it goes. But I want also to say one thing now before we continue. I want to give advice for those preparing to get into the covenant of marriage, those seeking to get into it. The first thing, after it all, what you should do, listen to me carefully. Make sure you seek expert mentorship and counseling with the spouse. Seek expert mentorship and counseling together before engaging into the union. Don't say you know the woman. Woman, don't say, oh, I know the man. Don't be in a hurry. Oh, let color not be deceitful. Let the beauty of the woman not take you. Not even her spirituality, because it comes to time with age that spirituality can turn around. You know, people backslide and you'll be in trouble. So get into counseling, expert counseling, before you get into it. Special, whether it is a common, whether the spouse is from a common background or an interracial marriage, it doesn't matter. Get into expert counseling and mentorship before you get into it. This is free. This is free for all. Now, do women of other races, are they free? Do they not do faults at home? Are they free from faulty habits, faulty behaviors? They are not. So wherever you have a woman like the man, no, it is personal. The heart, the lifestyle. Yes, background can be an influence, but even the women in your tribe, the home they come from, can be an influence too. So don't be moved by human words and faces. You own the grace to make the difference in your marriage, helping the family walk the way of God and making your spouse better every day. It is the duty of the two parties to make sure that their family, it's your family. You can't have a family and then you want another family to come in, especially when you think that your family can only work with a third party who is a friend, a co-worker, even if it's a church member. That friend may be a devil incarnate, even though she speaks in tongues. Watch out. You are a citizen of heaven, a peculiar individual on this earth, and loved of God, and have a spouse, a husband. That is enough for you to handle. Than bring other problems outside. There are many Miriams and many Aarons who have something graceless to say, and they are and will never cease until the world comes to an end, prognosing and thinking they have a solution in the marriages of other people. Look, they are always there and will always be there. They are a lot in churches, and they are a lot in families, and they are a lot in the street. But one thing is sure, the concern should be what you are telling yourself. What is your spouse saying about you? And what is God recording of you? What you tell yourself, what your spouse knows of you and is saying about you, and what of you that is going in God's record is what is the matter for you to see. I want to say that intermarriage is as any other marriage. Interracial marriage, intertribal marriage, or whatever marriage you call it, it's the same. A woman is a woman, and a man is a man. The difference is the character of heart. The difference is the behavior at home. The difference is the relationship that the two spouses have. The difference is how one of the parties is seeing God and is seeing the people outside. The difference is how much the parties are willing to give away and to get on together. Those things make the difference. And that's what I'm saying to the church at this moment, and to all women. Remember, marriage covenant is between the spouse with God as chairman, as a witness, and as a referee. No other person in flesh and blood, not even your father, not even your mother, least to talk of a friend. Do all to keep friends and foes from dictating the course of your marriage. Do everything to keep your friends and your foes alike away from meddling and dictating the course of your marriages. Because if you do that, your marriage becomes a club, no longer a covenant sanction of God. Your marriage becomes something else, a public show. And behind your back, the people will be really talking about you. So men and women, people of God everywhere, especially those who are involved in interracial marriage and intertribal marriage, I want to say to you, it is not the inter that makes it bad. It is not. Moses did not complain of his Ethiopian bride. He enjoyed himself, loved her, they worked together, they had a good relationship. But the complaint came from the family. And thank God, as early as that, God sanctioned, God approved, God gave a place in the nation of Israel and gave a place in our world of our day for interracial marriage, intertribal marriage, interdialect marriage, if you like it. Now the difference, well, let me say something. Let me say something. If there is any contentions and any problems in those marriage, if the Bible says, don't commonly yoke together, the Bible is not talking and forbidding interracial marriages. The Bible is saying, do not let righteousness be compromised because of marriage. For what will the devil have to do with Jesus? For what will demons have to do with the righteous people? For what will whatever you like to call it, witches and wizards, have to do with Christians? How do you mingle together? Righteousness will be compromised. That is what God is saying you don't let happen. God is not saying that in the church you are brethren because they come from different tribes, different races, different nationalities. Oh, that is enough not to get married to them. That's not what God is saying. God is saying that you don't leave the righteous fold and you go to yoke with the unbelieving fold. That is what is forbidden. So may God bless you, and may God keep the church and let the church grow and let marriages be healthy. And that's my prayer, that you do not attribute your misunderstandings and problems in your marriage to the differences in race, but treat them as the personality traits, the character traits of the individuals, which may likely happen with any other, and seek counseling, get before the Lord, and do what is right. God bless you. But take note, let no third party dictate your marriage. Keep them away, and God will bless you. Amen.